Okay, we're live. Audio's coming through, so we're good to go for Hogwarts Legacy, episode 90, Ravenclaw House. So we've got one assignment to get done. A couple things with our friends. And then we got to return to the map chamber. Yes, the assignment is that easy.
Perhaps a hybrid. Bouncing tentacular.
I finished the activities you assigned me, Professor Garlick.
Wonderful! I hope you gained a greater appreciation for the flora in our lives. I am forever enraptured by it. Just yesterday, I spent hours pruning my self-fertilizing shrubs and flutterby bushes. Didn't realize how long I'd been at it until the... Well, if there's one thing I love to see more than my plants thriving, it's one of my students doing the same. Now, ready to learn Flipendo? Chin up, keep a light grip, and it's all in the wrist. Let's see you give it a go. You will want to focus with this spell. Nothing as mortifying as knocking back a colleague when all you wanted to do was move a few pots. Wonderfully done! If you'd like to practice a bit more, you're welcome to do so here in the greenhouse. Just mind the plants, please. Look at that! You're a natural.
Professor Garlick, a moment of your time?
The plants are resting, so now's as good a time as any.
I was wondering, what made you want to teach herbology?
How lovely of you to ask. I've always had an affinity for greenery, so this situation is a bit of a dream come true. After graduation, I was thrilled to be asked to step in for my old herbology professor. He'd had a slight accident, you see.
Oh dear. A shame for him, but it worked out well for you.
Well, he never cared, really cared for the plants, and they could sense it. Oh, you'd be surprised how perceptive a plant can be. At any rate, the trouble began one day when he cut into a wigan tree. Unfortunately for him, its leaves were hiding a bowtruckle. You may recall the marvelous creatures that resemble a twig. The little beast gouged the professor's eyes quite fiercely, but terrifying, I'd imagine. Likely for the professor, too.
And that's when you took over as the herbology professor?
Well, not quite. After 3 weeks at St. Mungo's, my predecessor regained a tiny bit of his eyesight. He insisted on returning to the greenhouse. Within a week, he claims by accident, kicked a Chinese chomping cabbage, so it was back to St. Mungo's for him.
What a string of bad luck.
Well, I felt awful for him, but I dare say I felt a bit more sympathy for the cabbage. Upon his discharge from the hospital, his indifference to plants had turned to utter disdain. He lost what little patience he had left with a particularly temperamental venomous tentacula and, well, his resulting leave of absence continues to this day.
I'm glad everything worked out as it did, and that you're the herbology professor now.
Very kind of you to say. I do love these gardens and helping my students grow. Lovely speaking with you. Have a wonderful day. Oh, and remember, be kind to your wigan trees.
Okay.
Anything to do with the dark arts should be avoided. It's too risky.
Anything to do with Salazar Slytherin is worth the risk.
I can't agree. And I'll not say a word more. I'm sorry.
I won't give up.
What were you and Ominous speaking about?
He's being ridiculous. Apparently Salazar Slytherin had a secret scriptorium here in Hogwarts. Ominous swears it was used for the dark arts, so he wants nothing to do with it. I reminded him that Anne needs a cure. This scriptorium could hold the answers we need.
Ominous is right. Meddling in the dark arts is dangerous.
There's more to dark magic than people realize. The Gaunts know this. Better than most. Perhaps I've spoken out of turn. Ominous's family history is personal to him.
I understand. You needn't tell me if you don't want to.
If I were you, I'd be begging for more details.
It's not that I'm not interested, and you can certainly trust me if you want to tell me anything.
Ominous learned dark magic from his parents. Are you familiar with the Cruciatus Curse?
What does the Cruciatus Curse do?
It's known as the Torture Curse. Crucio. It inflicts intense, excruciating pain on the victim. Apparently, his parents and older siblings had no qualms about casting it on muggles for sport. Ominous described the sound of the victim's cries as horrific, so the first time he was asked to cast it himself as a child, he couldn't bring himself to do it. As punishment, his family cast it on him. The anguish was so bad that when asked to cast it again, he relented. I have repeatedly assured Ominous that he did what he had to, but he still hasn't forgiven himself.
How horrible. Poor Ominous, he was only a child. He shouldn't blame himself.
After that incident, the rift between Ominous and his family only grew. That is until I came along. Every moment he isn't at Hogwarts, he's with us in Feldcroft. Ominous trusts me. And more often than not, he winds up listening to me. I'll remind him of that when I follow up about the scriptorium. Watch for my owl. I'll have news soon enough. I'll make Ominous understand. He'll change his mind.
Do you have a moment?
Were you calling me, Gareth?
I was. After you helped me with that Fupa feather and potions, I reckoned you might be just the person I need. You see, I have an idea for a fizzing Whizbee-inspired beverage, but I'm missing a key ingredient.
Where do you find the time for this, and your homework?
I've plenty of time for both. Been managing for years. So, I suspect the key ingredient in fizzing Whizbees is dried billywig stings. I heard there's a store of them in Honeyduke's cellar. I'd get them myself, but my Aunt Matilda has her eye on me. Thinks I need to focus on potions class for a while, not for my own brews. I was hoping you could follow a secret passage to Honeyduke's cellar and grab a few dried billywig stings for me.
Of course. You never know when you might need a quick means of escape from the castle.
Brilliant, thank you. But you should know that it's not exactly quick. It's the secret bit that's helpful. The passage is hidden behind the statue of a one-eyed witch in the third-floor corridor. Just tap it with your wand and say, Descendium.
Are you asking me to steal from a shop?
Goodness, it's not as if I'm asking you to rob Gringotts. Honeyduke's is more than enough, and I only need a few. It's a sweets ingredient. They won't be missed, trust me.
Couldn't you have someone buy the dried billywig stings?
They're not for sale, and you never know when the cellar's going to be locked. So, the reliable way in and out is through the secret entrance.
I'll see what I can do, Gareth.
Fair enough. You shall be the first one to taste my newest brew if you can be of help. Perhaps I can convince a meat to help me with my potions homework. Get my aunt to loosen her reins a bit.
I'll need to get those dried billywig stings for Gareth if he's to finish his latest concoction. A one-eyed witch statue shouldn't be too hard to find.
I thought we would tackle a few side quests while we can.
This looks like the right statue. Now, what was the password? Descendium. Who knew this was all down here? Lumos.
It's not quite how it's described in the books.
Reparo. A lift. Must be how I get down. Looks broken though.
Not for long.
That seems to have done the trick. Revelio. Revelio. This castle will never cease to surprise me. Reparo. Lumos.
No one's been down here for a while.
Revelio. I'm going to have to get past this. Reparo. Levioso. Confringo. Reparo. One more to go and I'll make it across. Levioso. Something is getting in the way of that platform. Levioso. Aha! Got it. This must be the way out. I need to find a way to open that gate. Something smells sweet. Must be close to Honeydukes. Revelio. Honeydukes. I can smell the chocolate. Now, where would I find the dried billywig stings for Gareth?
Notifications galore from the internet. I have the dried billywig stings. Now, back to Gareth. I can only imagine how his new recipe is going to turn out.
I pressed Ominous regarding Salazar Slytherin's scriptorium, but my efforts were in vain. Meet me outside the Slytherin common room. We need to talk.
I find myself scurrying home at night these days.
Come on in and have a look around. No touching if you have sticky fingers. I suspect you have a sharp eye for fashion. Be sure to stop by whenever you're about.
Handy resource indeed, your field guide. I'm most pleased to be included.
Hello, Gareth. I have those dried billywig stings.
You got them! Incredible.
Happy to help. Here you go.
This is brilliant! Can't wait to get started. Thank you again. I'll let you know when I've brewed my first batch of fizzing whizbeer.
Merlins! Watch them fly!
Why did I never learn how to swim?
Going for a swim?
Goodness, no. Though I'm beginning to think I really should learn how to swim. Can't very well be liaison to the mer people if I don't know how to swim.
You're a liaison to the mer people?
Well, not technically, no. At least not yet. The position doesn't actually exist at the moment, but I have a plan to change that. I'm Nerida, by the way. Nerida Roberts. We didn't officially meet, but we duelled in the Crossed Swans Club.
Yes, of course. Good to see you again.
And you.
You seem quite interested in mer people.
I am. And they're as misunderstood and disregarded by wizard kind as goblins and centaurs are. I feel that if goblins and centaurs have liaison officers at the ministry, then the mer people should have one too.
I'm impressed. I think reaching out to the mer people is a grand idea.
You do? Oh, thank you. Of course I haven't exactly done anything just yet. I presented them with a gift a few weeks ago, and they wanted to leave me one as well, in one of their caves. Reciprocity and an offer to visit. I tried telling them I couldn't swim, but I'm afraid that bit got lost in... Mermish really is tricky.
How has wizardkind fallen short in its treatment of mer people?
Well, we've consistently deigned mer people as being beneath us despite the many similarities between our cultures. One can hardly blame them for declining being status by the ministry years ago. Who are we to classify those of such beauty and intelligence?
What do you imagine a liaison to the mer people would do?
Oh, so many things. I want to know everything I can about them. After I've mastered swimming, I perfect my mermish, of course, and I'd share with them anything they wanted to know about wizardkind. My hope is that by understanding each other better, both of our societies could grow.
What is it about the mer people that interests you so much?
I can't begin to tell you how brilliant they are. I mean, rumor is that tales about them have infiltrated even the Muggle world. The oldest known mer people, sirens, come from Greece. And of course Scotland has Selkies and Ireland is home to Merrows. I could go on for ages about them. Their glorious underwater communities, domestication of sea life, their art and music. It's a travesty how little is understood about them.
Well, I can swim and could help you if you'd like.
You'd really do that? Oh, thank you! Thank you, thank you! The last thing I want is for them to think I'd shunned their gift. Diplomacy is a delicate dance. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I think you can dive down to their cave from just there in the water. I can't wait to hear about what you find. One day soon, I'll see for myself. I just know it. I really should look into Gillyweed, although I still need to swim.
this place. Did the Mer people really leave Nerida an artifact?
Confringo!
Luma. Now then, I'll need you to come with me. Now for the rest of you.
Confringo!
Lumos. What do we have in here, then? Nerida will be happy about this.
Protego!
Your gift from the Mer people was exactly where they said it would be.
Oh, that's wonderful news. I was so worried I'd left it too long and they'd seen it as a slight. Our relationship with them is already so tenuous.
Then I'm glad we helped to foster some healthy diplomatic relations.
Merlin's beard. It's marvelous. I'm going to show it to everyone, including the Ministry. Should I hand deliver it or send by owl? Thank you again so much. You may have just helped improve relations between wizard kind and mer people for decades to come. I can't wait to study this.
I could test you.
Oh, that would be incredible. If you're sure.
I'll be tested too.
You already know the dates of every goblin rebellion that hasn't even happened yet.
Good to stay in top form.
Then I shall test you both at the same time.
That won't work.
What? Why?
If I could have a moment of your time.
Can I help you?
I believe you can. I'm Sophronia, by the way. And I need help from someone who's at least a 5th year. Are you familiar with Herodiana Byrne? Don't answer that. Of course you're not. No one seems to know of her but me. She's only the single greatest Depulso master of all time. Even taught at Hogwarts, briefly.
She was just good at casting a spell. No wonder I've never heard of her.
Perhaps you didn't hear me. I said the single greatest Depulso master of all time. I often read about great witches in my limited free time. There are many. Whilst reading about her, I learned that she built a secret Depulso training room here at Hogwarts. But in typical clever Herodiana fashion, one cannot access it unless one knows Depulso, which of course, 3rd years aren't taught.
And you're a 3rd year, so...
Quick one, aren't you? According to what I've read, her signature outfit may still be there. I would love to see it. Would you get Herodiana's signature outfit and show it to me?
How did Herodiana Byrne become famous by casting Depulso?
She once saved orphans from a wild Graffhorn by banishing it over Stonehenge. That's on Salisbury Plain. She once banished a meddlesome dark wizard all the way to Durmstrang while she was in the Alps. That one may have been exaggerated, but lots of the stories about her certainly aren't.
What ended up happening to Herodiana Byrne?
In her later years, she taught at Hogwarts, but only for a short while. Just long enough to build a secret hall, it appears. Then one day, she just disappeared. Some say she actually banished herself. No one knows for sure.
If you tell me where to go, I'll see what I can do about it.
Simply go to the Hall of Herodiana. It's at the base of the Defense Against the Dark Arts Tower. There, you'll find a series of Depulso puzzles concealing pieces of Herodiana's ensemble.
Very well. I shall let you know if I find anything.
I can't wait to see Herodiana's famous ensemble. Perhaps I'll make myself a copy.
Suppose I should look for that secret hall Sophronia told me about. It does sound interesting. This must be the entrance to the Hall of Herodiana. It is. The Hall of Herodiana. Better go inside and find those puzzles.
Okay, let's see how I do at this. Sometimes it can take me a while.
Now to see if Herodiana Byrne was as good as Sophronia said she was. I see. The switch reset everything. Good to know. I'm getting the hang of this now. Just one left. the last of them. Seems I was a match for Herodiana Byrne after all. And this must be the last piece of Herodiana's ensemble. It is remarkable. No wonder Sophronia wanted to see this.
Now, there are 2 other puzzles we can do. I may or may not do them on screen.
Fills our stone hearts with joy to be in the
Revelio.
presence of such arrogance.
Defending Hogsmeade against Trill.
Galleons and a historian's uniform. It was brilliant solving those old treasure maps.
I'd spend all day in the Great Hall if I could. It's always so warm and lively.
I always thought an owl in Diagon Alley. Went with a cat instead. Odd-coloured eye, and it quite appealed to me.
Well, did you find the Hall of Herodiana?
Sophronia, I solved all the puzzles in the Hall of Herodiana.
Incredible! Then you found Herodiana's outfit. May I see it?
Of course. Behold.
Oh, how grand! You'll look as majestic as Herodiana herself, the greatest Depulso master of all time. You're my second favorite hero!
Okay, what else can we do? Pumpkins.
Uncle Roland would never leave me to worry like this.
Adelaide Oaks, isn't it? I received your owl.
Yes, I'm Adelaide Oaks. Oh dear. You see, my Uncle Roland is a metal trader who's quite well known in the goblin community. He normally sends me owls every week when he's on his business travels. In his last owl, he alluded to dealings with those radical goblins, Ranrock's loyalists. It's been ages since that owl and I'm worried. What with the troll attack on Hogsmeade and the rumours that goblins may have been involved, well, I'm fearing the worst. Should I be worried about my uncle, or am I overthinking this?
I think you're right to be concerned, Adelaide. Your uncle may be in trouble.
You're much more understanding than Professor Weasley. She heard I was going to look for him and forbade me from leaving the grounds. She's convinced he can handle himself, but I can't concentrate on anything until I know he's all right. Could you try to find out for me? From what I hear, you're almost as adventurous as Uncle Roland.
I take it you and your uncle are close.
We are. My mother died when I was born, and I lost my father when I was 5. Uncle Roland's looked after me for as long as I can remember. He knows I get anxious when he travels, and that's why he sends me all the owls, to let me know that he's all right.
Has your uncle traded with many goblins?
Yes, for ages. Even speaks gobbledygook. But he only recently mentioned Ranrock's lot. Insisting the galleons were worth the risk. He does it for me. Between robes and supplies, attending Hogwarts costs a fair sickle. And besides that, Uncle Roland has expensive taste. He's sacrificed so much for me over the years. I promised him that as soon as I finish Hogwarts, I shall be the one taking care of him.
I'll try and look into it for you, Adelaide.
Thank you. He's very thorough in his record keeping. Notes all his trades in a journal, makes maps. In fact, in his last owl, he drew me a map of his next stop. He planned to set up camp north of here. I do hope you're able to find out where he is. Thank you again for any help you can provide. Oh, Uncle Roland, what have you got yourself into?
Adelaide mentioned her uncle's camp may be near Brockborough, past the river.
You're gonna regret coming here. Closer! Mustn't overlook Felcroft.
I've had enough of Feldcroft. Hope I never have to see it again.
Could this be Mr. Oakes's campsite? Ranrock's loyalists, just ahead. Should I take them by force or be discreet?
Yeah, another human. This'll be a miss. Much too slow.
Now, find out what happened here. Mr. Oakes's trade journal.
Revelio.
Adelaide said that her uncle kept notes of his trades, maps. Perhaps these landmarks will lead me to him.
figure out why there's such a fuss over poaching. There's enough dumb beasts for everyone.
A rock formation. That's the first landmark on this map. Now, to find the crooked tree. Crooked tree, just as the map said. The crumbling tower shouldn't be far from here.
The ministry planning to poach in Erringer.
Is that you, Royland? Correct.
Better not be
Levioso! Hold still! Levioso!
No! Marvelous strike! What have you done?
The beasts around here can sleep a bit easier now. And the crumbling tower. The spot on the map should be directly south of here. What do we have here? I may have more luck higher up in the keep. A ladder. That's what I need.
What's that? Who's there?
This is the spot on the map. I'd best have my wits about me.
Not quite. You're
Revelio.
I don't like the looks of that encampment.
Show yourself, if you're there. Oh, little mooncut. Let's try. But they're just written now.
Revelio. Stone walls do a prison make, sometimes.
Revelio.
Take them all. Run the other way when they see me, humans do. Every time. One less human to... I won't rest until
Revelio.
I need to remember when my mic is on and when it's off.
will we find in here? Revelio.
We're not...
I will make you pay. I won't rest. Dead.
It looks as though Adelaide's instincts were spot on. You've one less follower, Ranrock. Revelio. Alohomora.
Okay, which way?
Revelio.
Yeah, it's worth trying.
Revelio.
The area's still clear. A human's word is worthless. This person... You won't survive. I'm gonna finish your death. You won't get away. I shall avenge your death. I shall avenge you.
Revelio. Revelio. A boiler door. How to open it?
He'll learn his lesson after being locked away. You can count on that.
I will make
Okay, that done that.
One way or another, we'll get what we're owed.
Ambitious plants! By a vegetable! I won't rest. Oh, little moon calf, how now you're making this feast. Just carrots.
You won't get away. Back to the fence,
You can't stop us. You stupid. Chill spells much too slow.
Revelio. This must be Mr. Oakes's wand. Perhaps now he can set himself free. Revelio.
Okay, so far, so good.
Revelio. Revelio.
Okay, next stop, downstairs.
I've been fighting since before you were born.
Revelio. Hello? Mr. Oakes?
Yes, I'm here. They've taken my wand. This cell has an enchanted lock. I have experience with these locks, but I need my wand if I have any chance of opening it. Look for a boiler door. I've heard them speak of it.
Fortunately, I've already found your wand, Mr. Oakes.
Please, pass me my wand. I can't get out of this damn cell without it. It's my last hope. Please.
You did it! I found my wand and... Wait, you're a student? Oh, we must get you to safety immediately. It's dangerous.
It's all right, Mr. Oakes. I've dealt with these goblins before.
Dear Merlin, you're either very lucky or very talented. Well, how did you find me?
I'm a friend of Adelaide's. She was worried about your business with Ranrock's loyalists.
Oh, she was right to be. I couldn't go through with the agreement, and when I told them, I ended up blindfolded and behind bars. Been locked in that infernal cell for so long, they'd forgot I was even there. I overheard things. If only I could reward you for what you've done. Blasted goblins stole every knut on me. All I can say is thank you, truly.
Am I right that you speak gobbledygook?
Unbeknownst to Ranrock's fiends, I do. I've always had an affinity for goblin culture. Knew I wanted to be a metal trader ever since I was a lad. It wasn't easy learning the language. It's complex, and my memory's as weak as my knees these days. But after decades working with fine goblin folk, I grew fairly proficient. At least, I'd like to think so.
You mentioned you overheard things.
Sad tale, really. I think I know where Ranrock's unfortunate vendetta against wizardkind began. Although dragon breeding was outlawed by the Warlocks Convention of 1709, Ranrock stumbled upon an illegal dragon camp. He was young, found the creatures fascinating. He'd visit the camp in secret whenever he could, never making his presence known. After weeks of sly surveillance, he finally summoned the courage to speak to the wizard in charge. Ranrock wanted to join them, and the creatures. The wizard happened to drop his wand. Ranrock saw an opportunity. He picked it up, went to hand it back as a means of introducing himself. The sight of a goblin with a wand sent the wizard into an instant rage. He beat Ranrock nearly to death. Ever since, Ranrock has despised wizardkind, sees us all as cruel.
I'm grateful I was able to help you, Mr. Oakes. Adelaide thinks the world of you.
Oh, and I her. She's become quite savvy to my trading habits, always analyzing my detailed owls. If only I hadn't resorted to trading with such fiends. A lesson I shan't soon forget. Having my wand back is like being reunited with an old friend. I must return home and inform Adelaide of my safety. Will you be all right?
I'll be fine, Mr. Oakes. You get back to Adelaide. I assure you, her worries outweigh yours.
Oh, I'm anxious to see my dear niece. And then I plan to travel far from here for my next round of trading. Thank you. May life reward you justly for your deeds. Be well, my friend.
Mr. Oakes was lucky. Ranrock's lot would never have freed him.
Now we need to find our way out of here without getting too lost. Okay, what should we do next? Ooh.
Hero has saved me more broken glasses than I care to count.
I can't imagine how muggles get by these days at the magic use.
Children have to be constantly.
Muggles have made life hard for us since the dawn of...
Come in, look around, and if you've been eating chocolate frogs, please refrain from touching.
Okay, it's very blue.
I'd say that looks as if it was made for you. I suspect you have a sharp eye for fashion. Be sure to stop by whenever you're about.
Hengist of Woodcroft certainly knew how to plan quickly.
Let's see what we can do with our clothes. I think I'm going to leave it here for today, and next time we'll see what else we can get done, and maybe we'll return to the main story. So until then, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye!